the Surge Squonk Kit from Hugsvape. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this, the Surge Squonk Kit from Hugsvape. A brand new 2700 Squonk mod, 80 watt Squonk mod from Hugsvape with their new RDA, the Piper RDA, 24mm wide RDA, dual vertical coil RDA, obviously squonky as it goes on top of the Surge kit. Available in a range of colours. You can use an 18650 or a 2700 on here. Big fire button, big screen, and a very affordable range of colours, and it's coming out really cheap, like $45 where I've seen it. I'll try and put some links in the description to where it is available. Now, the elephant in the room. I'm just going to tackle this straight off on this video, and then we can just move on and talk about this device. A lot of people calling this a clone. A lot of people shouting from the rooftops that this is just a copy of the Vandy Vape Pulse Squonk mods. And I can completely see why it has raised those alarms. I've said this time and time again on this channel what I deem a clone. Now, a clone is just the vaping terminology for a replica device. So if someone makes a K-Fun copy and they call it a K-Fun and it's packaged as a K-Fun and it looks identical to a K-Fun one-to-one, that is a replica product, that is a clone. This product has its own name, it has its own packaging, it has its own brand, has its own RDA, has its own screen, has its own board, has its own bottle. They have absolutely not gone for originality on this device. They lose so many points in my eyes for the lack of uniqueness and innovation on this device. Absolutely lose loads of points for it. But in my eyes, there's just no way that this is a clone. They're not trying to piggyback the marketing or the brand or the success of the Vandy Vape Pulse Squonk mods. It also is kind of a mashup of all of the Vandy Vape products. It looks like the original mech version, yet has the bottle, a very similar bottle system to the new regulated version. It's very hard to pinpoint exactly what this is. It does have a slightly different shape on the back. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what this is a clone of. They've kind of just cherry picked a lot of bits from the Vandy Vape stuff. I totally get why Vandy Vape might be upset about this, Tony might be upset about this, that they've copied so much of the design elements from their stuff. But still, like I say, by my definitional terms, this isn't a clone. This is not a clone. I also think Vandy Vape have lost that, they've lost the ability to play that trump card of, ooh, we were copied. Let's not forget, Vandy Vape copied the coily, they copied the mod maker polishing tool as well. And yeah, for me, they've lost the right to call other things copy or cry wolf when someone copies them a bit, because they have one-to-one copied certain other things in the past themselves. So do unto others as you wish to be done to yourself. You know, I mean, so and it's another reason why, you know, I'm not going to get crazy upset about that. So there we go. There we go. For me, it's not a clone. It's incredibly unoriginal. It's incredibly frustratingly unauthentic, you know, unimaginative, etc, etc. Certainly wouldn't recommend this over the latest Pulse mod, the latest Pulse Squonker from Vandy Vape. I wouldn't recommend this over the top of that by any stretch. But it's not a clone. It's not a clone in my eyes, and that is my definition of that, and that is my take on that. Let's get down low. Now we've put that to bed, let's go down low and give this thing a proper review. We'll talk about pros and cons when we come back up top, and I'll show you all the way around it when we go down low, which we'll do right now. Let's go. Okay guys, here we are down low with the Hugsvape Surge Squonk Kit. Nice little picture on the box, interesting packaging. Let's open her up. Put all this to one side, take the lid off. Wish more people would put grooves here so you could just grab these things off easier. You get a nice little cotton and coils packet inside. That's a pretty nice touch. Pretty cool. Get charge cable. This is for if you want to use an 18650 on here instead. You get your RDA and your mod. Let's get the mod out. Let's get the RDA out. There we go. The RDA is called the Piper RDA, and we'll come back to that in due course. Okay, so spring-loaded Squonk 510 on here. Obviously, this RDA sits on very nicely, no issues at all there. And there it is. This is the kit put together. So let's have a look around here. First of all, you've got this door. There we go. You can see your bottle and your 2700 battery in here. Hugsvape written there. And the bottle is here. There's absolutely no getting away from the fact that this bottle and this bottle, especially the bottle cap, looks a lot like the Vandy Vape one. I don't think it works quite the same though, because all this is one piece. I think I'm right in saying it's two piece on the Vandy Vape. I don't actually have one of the latest Vandy Vape ones. But there we go. If we flip it around, there's a back door as well, and this makes it a lot easier to get your bottle and your battery out of here. It's a nice touch, a clever idea originally by Vandy Vape. So we'll push the battery out like that, and you can see you've got your positive there and your negative there. Put that to one side, and we'll push the bottle out as well without making a mess, hopefully. The bottle just connects by that little connector there. You just push the tube end on. It all comes pre-cut and ready to go. And the Squonk Bottle is a really nice Squonk Bottle. It's dark, but you can clearly see your juice through it. And it's a really nice squeeze on the bottle, really nice touch on the bottle. So there we go. So let's cram this back in there. It's a nice snug fit. Absolutely no play on the bottle in there. And we'll place the battery back in positive down as well. And again, really nice snug fit with the 2700. These are very plasticky doors. They've got their own little design on. Not raving about that, but yeah, there we go. Turn it around and put the back door back on. The doors themselves do have a little bit of play, I'm afraid. I'm sure you can hear that. They do have a little bit of play. You don't notice it. The front door's a bit better on mine actually, but you don't notice it when you're vaping it and using it. But yeah, they're not super snug flush doors. The fire button is here. Nice big fire button here. You know, fair, I think it's fair to say Vandy Vape were certainly not the first to do a fire button that looked like this. But yeah, you can certainly see similarities with Vandy Vape's Squonker, and we talked about that up top. So there we go. And 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. Then you've got your micro USB, your minus and plus, and your screen in the middle here. In terms of the screen, obviously you can adjust your wattage. You've got your power mode up top, 55 watts, battery life, coil, volt, amp, and puffs. It is worth remembering on a single cell regulated device, and you can see it here, you're pulling a lot of amps on these things. So use the best 2700 you can find. I think there's a lot of misconceptions around amp draw and things like that. People talk about mechs and going low on mechs and all that sort of stuff. Nothing quite pulls the amps like a regulated single cell mod, guys. So do use the best battery you can get for these sorts of devices. Yeah, so that's the screen. If you go 1, 2, 3, you can navigate your modes here as well. Bypass mode, TCR. I genuinely don't have a clue what that is. Power mode there, and when you click it, you're back onto the menu. So 1, 2, 3. If you click it, you can go down through the menu, so you can reset your puff count like that. So yeah, so clicking the fire button takes you down the menu. You can adjust your puff count and all that, and if you want to get out of it, you just hold down fire and you're back out of the menu. Nice clear screen, not super detailed, not super flashy, but nice and clear. So there we go. The RDA. Now the RDA, the Piper RDA, I believe it is called. It's a vertical coil RDA, and you've got your goon tip on top, adjustable airflow here. You can turn this like that to adjust the airflow, pulling the top off, wobbling the whole desk, splattering juice everywhere, and this is the RDA. So what you've got here is some low posts and some high posts, and you put your top high lead up there and your low lead down there, and it's sort of your classic vertical coil deck. There is not a lot of room to play with in this deck. Your coil position has to be pretty bang on. It's not super easy to wick either. You've got to do the whole poking and dragging to get your cotton through there. And the airflow actually comes, if I get a poker, the airflow actually comes from in here. There's holes on the inside here, so it's coming from in there, out of the coil, hitting all this turbulence and coming up. The juice comes out of the squonker like this. Let me just tidy this up. This is only simply because I've been messing with it. It hasn't been a messy device in general. But yeah, so if we squonk it, you can see juice just comes out of the center post on the opposite side to the airflow and just goes around everywhere, goos it all up pretty well. It does squonk pretty well, this, and it does keep the whole of the cotton juicy, which is always a worry on a vertical coil system. But there we go. So there's the RDA. Try that again. The O-rings are very, very stiff on this RDA, but there we go. There it is on, and there it is back together. So let's go up top and pro and con this kit from Hugsvape. Let's go. Okay guys, that was the Surge down low. Yeah, a lot of similarities with a lot of other squonkers out there. Absolutely no points for uniqueness. In terms of other negatives on this device, the doors could be better. They're very flimsy, very plasticky, and there's quite a bit of play on the doors as well. You don't so much notice it when you're vaping, but it is there. It is there. In terms of, you know, rattle and stuff, it doesn't rattle. Day-to-day use, it's fine. But the doors, yeah, the doors could be a better fit, and they could be made of something a little bit more substantial than this. Feels very plasticky, very cheap doors. The Squonk Bottle is 6mm capacity. I would have loved to see a little bit more capacity. You know, you're seeing mods come out now, like the Wismec Luxotic MF. Was that 9mm capacity, 10mm capacity? So I would like to see maybe just one more mil, 7mm capacity. Takes it over what you can fill a tank to. I would have liked to see a bit more capacity. Also, in day-to-day use, I've found the battery life isn't great on this mod. I don't know if it's a super efficient board. Yeah, the battery life has not been great, even with the 2700 in here, which is what I recommend you use. Battery life hasn't been fantastic at all, and that is just at 55 watts, so I can only imagine what it'd be like when you're going to 70-80 watts. So battery life not great, bottle capacity not great either. The bottle's kind of a bit squishy in there. You have to put quite a bit of bend on the tube. It's quite a squeeze to get it in there. If you fill the bottle right to the very top and try and push it in there, there's every chance it might get messy on you as well. In terms of the board, the power output in power mode seems quite nice. The TC seems a bit wobbly to me. Again, I don't have all the fancy ways of testing these things. I didn't even squonk TC on this. I just put a TC tank on top and tried it like that. But yeah, the TC didn't seem great for me on here, but the power output in wattage mode does seem absolutely fine. So overall, the mod, for the price, you know, if you just desperately need a regulated squonk mod, dead cheap, then this is an option. This is an option for you. It's available in a range of colours, and like I say, it seems to be less than $50 in the shops that I've seen. So very, very affordable, cheap, variable wattage squonk option if you don't already have one. So it does seem like that. The RDA that comes on top, very interesting RDA. The Piper RDA, 24mm vertical dual coil RDA. I've had a bit of fun with this RDA. It's vaping a bit like this right now at 55 watts. I don't know how much you heard of that on the mic, but it's very turbulent vape. There isn't a clear path for the air to travel, because you've got your cotton going up and then it fans out a little bit on top, of course, and that kind of blocks the way that the air wants to go, so it does create quite a turbulent vape. Also, it's coming in the bottom here, up the center post and out from the other side of the coil to what you'd usually have the airflow, so the whole vape of it is very, very turbulent indeed. The actual positioning of the deck, so you've got one high post to put your top lead in and one low one to put the other, but it's a complete mirror on the other side, which means you either have to wrap your coils opposite way around, one for each side, or you have to put them in on the opposite angle on the opposite post, so that can be really fiddly as well. There's very, very little room in here as well. You really have to just get that coil right in the center of the space. Anything bigger than 3mm diameter coils, I think you're really going to struggle to not have it bumping up against something, which is really tricky with vertical coils. Often with vertical coils you can put nice big ones in there, which makes the wicking easier. Wicking is a bit fiddly. It does have its juice well lips up there, so getting the cotton through the coil is a bit of a faff as well. After you've built it, after you've come through all those build issues and scenarios, you've still got the fact that it's a very, very turbulent draw on this RDA. It's just got a really turbulent feel to the vape. Flavour's not fantastic. It's okay, it's not fantastic. I don't think the RDA is pulling up any trees. What I will say for the RDA is it does squonk very, very well. The juice comes, sort of pushes its way to the top, so it does actually juice up the cotton all the way up the coil, which is nice. So that's good. That it does squonk in a very good way. I think it's an RDA. If you buy this as a kit, it's an RDA that you can have a little play with and ultimately chuck away and put a better squonk RDA on top of here. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay, but absolutely nothing special, the RDA, at all. If you can just buy the mod on its own, even cheaper, then I would definitely advocate that. So in summary, for me, it's not a clone. It's ridiculously unoriginal, unauthentic, zero innovation on this thing. I've got to say that. I've got to say that. But for me, it's not a clone. I think all the people making a big fuss about it being a clone stuff, you know, just drama queens and dick riders, really. So I wouldn't go as far as to say that it is a clone at all, but incredibly unoriginal. And that there is products such as the Vandy Vape Pulse mod, Squonk mods, that you can just get available right now, probably in your country, in your vape shop. You just go grab those. There's no need to wait for these. This definitely doesn't go any way to being any better than any of the squonkers that are currently available out there. That being said, though, there's nothing glaringly massively wrong with this. Certainly as a mod, as a squonk mod, as a cheap regulated squonk mod, it absolutely does do the job, and is pretty okay, and pretty okay squonker. So there we go. The highly interesting Hugsvape Surge mod. I mean, even the word surge is very similar to Pulse, you know, so they really haven't given this too much thought, I wouldn't have said. So there we go, the Surge Squonk Kit from Hugsvape. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm expecting some comments down below. Like and subscribe if you're not already. Loads of great reviews coming up, so please do subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.